People like to talk about how crime has gone up in Seattle, and they're right. Crime has gone up. The crimes of racist, thug cops have gone up. Their crimes against women have gone up. Their crimes against people of color have gone up. And the crimes of racist, token, people of color politicians have gone up. Yeah, we noticed, Lorena Gonzalez. We noticed. We noticed how, after I spoke publicly against you, the cops sent racist, white supremacist racists after me on BlueLivesMatter.com. We saw that, we noticed, and we all know how in cahoots with the cops you are. We noticed how in cahoots their Fafares is with the cops, who's so disgusting and such a token that she won't even look at the people when they speak. We all noticed how bullies like Bruce Harrell, who speak publicly and interrupt women when they speak, just as you interrupt me now. We saw how those crimes went up. We saw how the disgust and contempt that you have towards the people has gone up. We saw all of this. And don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. This is public comment. It is my right to speak. I will speak.
That is her right to speak.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
America.
This is
America. This is America. This is America. This is America. This is America.
The crimes of how men of color are used to try to intimidate women of color.
That's right. That's the stuff we've been talking about. We've been dealing with this. Her saying what she has to say is not a crime, Bruce.
We've seen it. Everyone's seen it. We've seen it. We are definitely seeing it. And don't worry, we will continue to watch. Don't touch me.
Make her go out for what?
Baby,
she ain't doing nothing. She's doing just like Rosa Parks and all the rest of them did. Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Fannie Lou Hamer, Barbara Jordan, all of them. She ain't doing nothing
Lorena
different.
Gonzalez, we saw you.
And they're going to manipulate themselves through here, and we're going to see it starting tomorrow here on our own. Because that's what we
I have a question.
What's up?
How much do you value your customers?
Good enough.
So, if I found something offensive that you have posted outside, would you take it down in order to keep my business?
It depends what it is. What is it?
You have a sign that says you stand with Israel.
Yep.
And to me, what that's saying is that you stand with genocide, with mass killings of children and women, of war crimes. And at a University of Michigan, it's kind of not accepted. If that's what you want to believe at home, that's fine, but you're a businessman. And there's a lot of students here of multiple ethnicities and races. And I just feel like that's really inappropriate. And I don't want to shop at a place where I feel that I'm offended.
Well, I'm Jewish.
And that's fine.
Okay. And what I want, I could do.
Absolutely.
And then we're not in a country like Daesh thinking person, right? Everybody could do whatever they want. We have a freedom of speech. Listen.
No, you're right. You do have a freedom of speech. No, I understand that. But what your freedom of speech is saying that you support hate, war crimes, people stealing. No, I don't think so. I really don't think so.
You're entitled to your opinion. And I'm entitled
Okay, well,
to
as a
my
loyal
opinion.
customer, I won't be shopping here anymore. I think it's really upsetting.
Right.
If you want to believe that at home, that's fine, but you're a businessman and that's not professional at all.
I think it's very professional.
Really?
Yeah.
So you support the killing of women and children?
Yeah, but the other sides do it too.
No, they don't. They really don't.
Look.
You can go look up the statistics to it, and it'll show you very, very different numbers than what you believe.
But you are entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to my opinion, and I could do whatever I want, and you could do whatever you want.
Okay, absolutely.
Right?
Well, I'll make sure that everybody I know doesn't shop here anymore. I won't shop here anymore.
Look, I've been here since 1986.
Congratulations.
Look, and then you know how many times I heard people, they say, oh, we're not going to shop here. I could care less.
You could care less?
Oh, yeah. You know
That's
why?
a really sad mentality, but it just shows that you are Israeli if that's your mentality.
I love it.
Okay.
I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks for you, huh?
Yep.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Sheriff David Clark of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, and Julie Roginski, Democratic strategist and a Fox News contributor. Great to see you both.
Good to see you, Megan.
I love when Sheriff wears his hat. Sheriff, your thoughts on the president's comments?
Well, you know, Barack Obama for 7+ years has played the race card that every time somebody criticized him, it was because he was black, and it scared off a lot of Republicans. So now they're going to switch and try to play the gender card. The problem is the American public is tired of this class warfare. The reason why they don't like Mrs. Bill Clinton is not because she's a woman. It's because she's dishonest and because she is hiding something. She's hiding the truth. She tries to play herself off as a victim, like she's Little Red Riding Hood, but she's more like the big bad wolf. As soon as you turn your back on you, she'll bite you. Now look, this is politics. It's a contact sport. It's not for the faint of heart. My response to what President Obama said is, if she can't stand the heat, she should get out of the kitchen.
Julie?
Well, first and foremost, I think you just proved my point, Sheriff. And, you know, you and I were outnumbered last week, and I love you, but she's not Mrs. Bill Clinton. She happens to be Hillary Rodham Clinton, who's her own person and is running as her own individual. She's a former senator. She's a Secretary of State. She's not Mrs. Bill Clinton, and I think you just encapsulated exactly why a lot of women think that
It's
she's
not
not
my
getting
job
a fair...
to give you her bio.
It's not her bio, but it's also not your job to assume that she's just the little woman who's married to
She
Mr.
has run with that name for a long time.
Well, she's run for that name because she happens to be married to the former president, but she's certainly not Mrs. Bill Clinton.
She should embrace it.
Well, no, she actually shouldn't embrace it. She should embrace the fact that she's a very accomplished lawyer in her own right, a very accomplished woman in her own right.
Let me ask you this, Julie. Let me ask you this. Do you think there's something to the notion that many Americans find the idea of a female president somehow threatening? Do you think there's anything to that?
You know, I unfortunately I do, and it's a shame because I think, but you have polling showing, poll after poll showing, you have Anna Greenberg, who's a very prominent pollster, saying that her numbers went up when she focused specifically on women's issues, whether it's standing by her man when she was First Lady after the Monica Lewinsky scandal, or working on traditional women's issues, or even working as Secretary of State for Barack Obama, who's a man, but her numbers are not so great when she's running for something, when she's working in healthcare reform, when she's become a principal and taken on roles that are traditionally men's roles. And I think, unfortunately, I hate to say this because as a woman who is living in the 21st century, I would hope this is not the case, but empirical data shows, unfortunately, that it is the case.
Mm-hmm. You know, Sheriff, I remember 8 years ago, when Sarah Palin was on the Republican ticket, they were doing full articles about how she was going to balance her situation of having, I think, 5 kids and being vice president. It was just like, basically, for lack of a better term, screw you for writing that, right? Because nobody was wondering how Barack Obama was going to balance having 2 kids.
Yep.
So it's, I mean,
Megan, you
it's still
took the
there to
words
some
out of
extent.
my mouth.
Go ahead.
When you mentioned Sarah Palin, because the way the Democrats treated Sarah Palin was nothing short of shameful. Also, the way they treated Condoleezza Rice when she was the Secretary of State, they did the same thing. So all of a sudden, when it's one of those women who gets close to the White House, then it's okay to trash them. But when it's one of their women, then they try to play the victim card. America's tired of that stuff right now. She should stand on her own 2 feet. Take the heat. Look, this is for the presidency of the United States. Nobody's going to feel sorry for her.
Right.
Nobody's going to back down. I'm glad Donald Trump's not handling her with kid gloves.
Right. Julie, that is true that there was Sarah Palin endured a lot of sexism when she was running, and the women's groups, I mean, the silence was deafening. They were not there for her, you tell me, because she is a Republican.
No question, and I agree with you 100%. Sarah Palin got the short shrift in many ways.
So you understand why Republicans are like,
100%.
boo-hoo, we're
No,
not
no.
listening to your complaints now. Where were you when one of ours was being attacked?
First and foremost, some of us were there for Sarah Palin, not specifically on her policies towards women or things that we help women. But some of us did feel that Sarah Palin got incredibly short shrift, especially when you said what people were saying, how is she going to balance having children and she had a newborn.
And put her on the cover, I think it was of Newsweek, in a photo shoot she did for a biking magazine.
Yep. But listen, I'm not sure she should have posed for that necessarily for that picture. But,
oh, come on.
But having said that, look, I mean, there's no question that if you went to the Republican convention, as all of us did, and you saw some of the buttons being handed out, and you saw some of the things that were said about her, she was called the B word, she was called the C word, she was called all sorts of names that I've never heard a man being called, and you can't say that's anything other than sexism, unfortunately.
All right, I got to leave it at that. Give you the last word. Great to see you both.
Good to see you.